The Waylanders was positioned as a party RPG in the best tradition of Neverwinter Nights and Dragon Age. Veterans of the genre took part on its creation, including Chris Avellone, who needs no introduction, and Mike Laidlaw, lead designer of the Dragon Age series, who was one of the top people at the former BioWare. However, the game was a big disappointment. What went wrong? If Chris Avellone took part in the work on the script for the Valorants, then apparently he was drunk. Because the plot of this game is a mess in which Celts, Greeks, Druids, evil gods, and time jumps are mixed, and all this is seasoned with a cliché that has become boring, to the thief gnashing about damage that poison everything and witness to destroy the world. The Celtic nobility, led by the king, goes to meet the gods, while for some reason they are accompanied by the Greeks, the Druids mentioned above, immortal magicians, and Hercules gay. Everything, of course, ends in disaster. Damage begins, and our hero either dies or not and gains the ability to move between the past and the future. For no clear reason. He either disappears and is transferred several centuries ahead, then returns, seriously scaring his companions. There is no special logic and motivation in all this, and there is not much difference between the past and the future. There is no depth in the dialogues, in places they even look for fetch and stupid. The characters seem to be different and belong to colorful races. In addition to Hercules of non-traditional orientation, there is a werewolf, a one-eyed cannibal monster from a cursed people imprisoned in dungeons, and even a goblin in a mask. But with the exception of a couple, they are written superfluously and do not particularly sink into the song. Their motives are either regular or too standard, like personal quests. Knowing our hero for a very short time, every second person asked to go somewhere together, defeat someone and help, and then both for a long time and thanks. You simply don't believe this. I only like the story of the aforementioned goblin, who in the future turned out to be connected with the soul of the boy. I had to decide how to say him. In general, in all this, one feels a desire to come up with something really diverse and unusual, but at the same time there is no sense of the depth and elaboration that made one play the same Dragon Age enthusiastically for hours, and almost no literature, and most of the quests come down to the extermination of enemies when we run along the god-shaped corridors to the next boss, destroying opponents appearing from the air along the way. Roughly the same can be said about the role-playing system. There is a desire to give the players a lot of good things, but there is no depth. There are classes, archers, warriors, mages, druids, robbers, and so on, and upon reaching a certain milestone, you can choose an additional prestigation specialization. But at the same time, character generation is rather strongly against the background of the classic of the genre. Only 4 races, 6 classes, race, and origin give crumbs of bonuses, and popping comes down to increase the standard parameters, and learning about a dozen for the whole game of active and passive skills for each fighter. No social or conversation skills. Of the interesting, perhaps the ability to pump one of the 2 options for a combat stance. The combat system looks more interesting and deeper, referring against to Dragon Age. At any time you can pause the game and give orders to each of the 5 fighters under our command. During the most fierce battles, this is useful. It is no less useful to set a line of behavior forwards from passive to aggressive. But there are a question about balance. At first, even on normal difficulty, it's not easy, and then passage turns into an easy walk, accompanied by the collection of the same loot and almost unused consumables. But on the hard complexity sometimes jumps immediately, and the enemy spawning, I repeat, from the air take only the number and thickness of the skin, which has to be grinded down for a long time. Yes, and the tactical pause itself is malfunctioning poorly technically. The mechanics are implemented sloppily. The fighters do not always clearly respond to commands or strive to jump somewhere without an order. And in general, the technical performance of the Waylanders is, to put it mildly, unimportant. Okay, the graphics and style itself raise questions. This can be attributed to taste, but textures periodically disappears or we fall into them. Or the light goes out at the level after which is almost impossible to navigate. Well, a lot of other bugs, up to not working quest and constantly repeating things that start to the task, as thought we completed in the long time ago. With all the good, if not more, starving condition, the Waylanders was unsuccessfully implemented, and the potential of its only interesting chip with the time travel remained undiscovered. All this is really sad, because we missed good party RPGs in a spirit of Dragon Age. So I don't recommend this game. Thank you for watching, please don't forget to subscribe.